Some magical blackity glue. Was it that bad? Was it that bad?
It's just really sweet. And I don't like any type of sweet anything. So,
Still waiting in the doctor's office. It's been about an hour. Just met this really nice black lady who had the same shit as Tommy. But somebody is extremely hungry.
they said it was in my mouth, but I didn't. It feels different when you're actually in there.
I'm glad I don't have that many houses today because my day would have been shot. It was a busy day. Because I haven't missed a doctor's appointment yet and I refuse to.
That's true, I can confirm.
Very supportive.
And he's kicking because he's hungry too. Everybody is hungry. He know, he's like, what's going on? I need to calm down for my blood pressure goes.
It's a good idea. Or maybe they did this on purpose. Plot twist. To make your blood pressure go up. So they can put you on the medicine.
Either way, I'm already on it, so let's see if I can get all of it after he comes off of it.
That's the goal. Alright, so after 2 hours, I was like, you know what? Something's gotta give. So I went upstairs, started talking to the people, and all of a sudden, we got a room. So one of the laws from the 50th law, Robert Greene and 50 Cent, check that out if you haven't, is knowing when to be bad. Sometimes you gotta shake things up, ruffle feathers to get things done. You know, I wasn't extremely rude or discourteous, but I'm like, yo, we gotta go. It's been 2 hours and we just been sitting here. Nothing's happened. So, yeah, we gotta make something happen. And we got a room. So, yeah, probably touch on that a little bit more later, but sometimes you just gotta ruffle feathers and shake shit up. So, we got the organic smoothies from Clean Juice.
Vegetables.
This is what Tommy made today. Shout out to her. Always feeding me so well. What's good, y'all? Back again. Another day. I'm just gonna add on to yesterday's video because I couldn't get it together. Really didn't know what we was gonna talk about. But here we are, we back. And what I wanted to talk about this morning at 4 something in the morning. I don't know exactly what time it is, but you know, you should be your biggest competition. You know, not nobody outside of you, and you should also be your biggest motivator. What a lot of people get wrong and they don't understand about me is that nobody motivates me more than me. I set goals and I figure out what I want, and then I go get it. And I look at what's out there and I see, you know, what's possible. And then I start asking myself, why don't you have it? What you had to do to get it? Can you get it? Is it possible? Yes, it's possible. How do you know it's possible? Because somebody else did it. And then I figure out what I need to do in order to get those things. And I understand how much time it takes in order to get those things. And then I get it, you know. That's the biggest thing. And like I said, you move at your own pace and you figure it out. I've been going back to the gym lately, and what's been my motivation? I looked at a picture of the way that I used to look before when I was really in shape, and then I looked in the mirror and I realized that ain't the same person. You know, mentally I was in a totally different space. Life was so much simpler. Life was just deconstructed down to the basics. And I was grinding. Now, is life going to be as simple now as it was then? No, that's impossible because in that moment I didn't have a car. I literally had to walk every day. The only thing that I had to look forward to was going to the gym with my friends and working out. Just building camaraderie and talking. So, you know, I doubt life will ever be that simple. It was also quarantine. So, you know, that just got me in the zone. And if you talk to any of those guys back then, they'll tell you, like, I was weird. Like, if we were doing pull-ups, and I'm the skinniest guy out of everybody, I'm gonna do the most pull-ups, so I'm gonna hurt myself trying, just because, you know, I knew that I had to catch up. I knew that I was behind. Like, I didn't have anything going for myself. You know, here I am with a master's degree, and I gotta walk to work because I don't have a car, because I took a risk and it didn't work out. So all I had to look forward to was just pure grind, pure motivation, pure, look, I gotta get it. And you know, I'm getting back to that space mentally. I'm not in the same situation that I was. You know, my life is totally different. I have a lot of things now that I didn't have then. I don't have as many people to prove wrong, because I think I've already proved to myself and those people who I am. I know that. I think they know that now, and if they don't, then they in for a long ride, because they're gonna find out. And you should do the same. You should take a look at yourself, a hard inventory, figure out where you are, figure out what you want, figure out what you have, make an inventory of what you don't have, and then figure out what you have to do to get these things. Write down prices and write down time frames of when you want to have these things. Write down what you want to do in order to get these things, you know, and don't be afraid to take a step back. Sometimes you got to stay down until you come up. You know, when I was working at Food Line, it was embarrassing. I had friends looking at me like, oh man, I thought you was big and bad. You was Mr. Real Estate. You was doing this and that. You got your master's degree. And now look at you, you at Food Line. And on top of that, you back home. And on top of that, you don't even have a car. You walking. Man, it was sometimes I used to go and hide in the back when I saw people, because I didn't want them to know what was going on, or, you know, it was a mess. But we made it through. And that's the other thing. I was looking in the news the other day, and I was reading an article. It was right after Tom Brady lost the game, and they were asking him if he was going to retire. And he was saying, no, I don't know yet. Right now, I'm just in the moment. So the author of the article was just talking about how people make permanent decisions over temporary moments, you know, and that just made me think how a lot of times we get in a temporary situation and we make a permanent decision, something that we can't take back, something that we can't change, just because how we feel in a certain moment. And we do things that we can't bring back, we can't erase, we're stuck. So always give yourself time. Let me get back to you is a great, great, great answer. Or let me sleep on it, let me think about it, or I don't know. You know, a lot of times not knowing is a lifesaver, man. If you don't have the answer right then and there, that is okay. You just gotta know how to pace yourself and slow down and give yourself time, and then things will get better. You know, the situation and the circumstances may change. That's not an excuse to be indecisive or to not make decisions at all, because sometimes no decision is a decision. So you have to make decisions, but at the same time, you need to be able to give yourself time and think through, weigh your options, get a sheet of paper and actually write down, make a decision tree and say, you know, if I do this, then this will happen, and play it out all the way to the end. And then rewind and go back, and then go the other way and play it all the way out to the end, and then rewind and go back and then look at your options and figure out which option best suits you. Or if neither of those options suit you, then sit there and think about if you have the opportunity to create another option and what that would look like, and do that, you know. So yeah, I'm gonna leave this right here, right now. I'm gonna holler at y'all. When I leave the gym, I'm gonna do a little bit of lifting, trying to get back right, and I will holler at y'all later. What up, y'all? As you can see, I beat the sun this morning, eating Starbucks breakfast. I had to go grab breakfast this morning because I didn't feel like making it. Tommy was asleep, obviously, to the crack of dawn. And Any morning that you beat the sun is a good morning. I have been slack the past few months, and I just had to have a talk with myself, like a little wake up pep talk. And these moments right here where I'm feeling it, they don't really matter to me. They don't count. What really counts is the moments when I'm not feeling it and I'm not in the mood and I don't want to wake up and I stay in bed. Those are when I beat myself up the most, and those are when I feel the weakest, and those are the moments where you have to find that extra strength. And I have to be honest, I have not been doing that. I have really, really, really been slacking. But my best mornings, I wake up super early. I have quiet time to myself. I can listen to my books. I can get started on some work. I can just flow, go to the gym, work out, get things done. Those are my best mornings. And when I get away from that, then it starts bleeding out in weird ways. So basically I said all of that to say I highly suggest that anybody that wants to be successful find their own routine. It doesn't have to be waking up super early. That's just when I know that I'm in my best and I'm in my zone personally. But for you, it may be staying up all night and sleeping throughout the day and then being super productive at night. Everybody's zone of best production is different, but I encourage everybody to have something. In times of war and in times of chaos, you want to be as what's the word, instinctual as possible. And the best way to not think is to already have skills drilled in you and systems and routines placed in mind so you don't have to think. If you listen to a lot of famous athletes, they talk about how they got into a flow state or how they entered the zone and they were just going and they weren't really thinking. That is when you're at your optimal peak. That's like the peak of humanity. However, in order to get there, you have to work and work and work and work and work really freaking hard to the point where you don't have to think about these types of things. And it's gonna require a lot of practice, a lot of patience with yourself, and the willingness to learn, the willingness to sacrifice and go without things. I have luckily not had to sacrifice sleep because I've been going to bed way earlier. Like Tommi jokes, like when we first met, I was going to bed at 7 o'clock and waking up at 5 o'clock, which was the honest to God truth. I wake up and I start working out, or I just get on my computer and start doing work, and at that time I was really, really, really in a different mindset because I was pushing myself to get a promotion, which obviously didn't come to pass, which is why I left there. And one day I get into that. I think that's a pretty cool topic, just knowing when it's time to go. But just finding that moment of peace where you can get yourself together and focus on the things that you need to focus on so you can be the most productive. When I sleep in and I'm not waking up super early and I'm not exercising, yeah, I'm still productive, but I'm at like a B grade. And a B grade for me is like an A for other people because I'm still very productive. But in my mind, I know that I can be so much more productive because I'm making decisions on the fly, I'm rushing, and I'm not in that flow state rushing and making decisions. It's more like, this has to get done, this has to get this done, this has to get done. And I'm not in my zone, my element. So, to each his own, everybody has to find their own method. I'm just saying what works for me and when I know I'm at my optimal peak. And, if you're similar to me, then maybe that's your optimal peak as well. Or maybe your optimal peak is something different. And yes, I have had coffee. I usually don't drink coffee unless I wake up extremely early because I feel like I have to earn my coffee. So this morning I earned coffee, I got breakfast, and we're gonna attack the day. So turn right onto Farmfield. I'm headed to my first house, beating the sun, trying to get home by 12 or 2 o'clock at the latest. That is a great day if I get home early because then I can focus on the other things that I need to focus on the personal tip. So I will holler at y'all shortly. What's good, y'all? We are currently uptown, about to go to Salata, a salad spot, passing the art museum, looking all cool. And that's Fashion Construction. Obviously they're building something, but the reason I'm showing that is because they use Pac-Man And whenever I see Pac-Man, I get flashbacks of my old job that I ended up leaving because we were, what's the word? We were in a good fit philosophically. So ended up going to greener pastures. Still, keep in touch with some people there. But whenever I see a doggone Pac-Man or Mobile Mini, I always think about them. Post-traumatic drive syndrome is real, by the way. Don't let anybody tell you differently. But we are headed to, like I said, a spot called Salata. It's like a build your own salad type joint. And super like Chipotle, but for salads only, I guess. I never been in there, so I don't really know. That's why I said only. But since you're hell bent on comparing it to Chipotle, yeah, it's just like Chipotle.
You can't say my good old place was like Chipotle.
How's it going? It's a southwestern themed restaurant. Salata is not a southwestern theme.
It's
Picante?
It's Mexican restaurant.
All right, well.
Chipotle is a Mexican-American themed fast food establishment.
First of all, it's a fast casual restaurant. It's not a fast food establishment. Both of them. Second of all, again, they are southwestern themed because they have American food in there.
One is good, one gives you the runs.
And that's fine. I just prefer Chipotle over Picante. If you like Picante, that's cool. I didn't say anything was wrong with Picante.
And I said, and that's when I said, me and you won't go there again. I ain't never seen you go to Chipotle.
I don't have a problem with going to Picante. I'm good with Picante.
No.
It's just, I prefer Chipotle. That doesn't mean
that. Said there's no need for us to go there.
Well, that's cool too. I mean,
be in the back of my head.
That's fine. I don't understand why you're taking that personally, but all right. Anyways, this is Salata. I'm gonna take some pictures of the outside and everything, and I will holler at y'all in a few.
These days, I'm letting God handle all things above me. The things I can't change are the reason you love me. Listen, you can hear them calling my.
Yeah, I want to get some of the views. My bad, y'all. I did kind of leave just abruptly. I just thought about it since you said something. Ooh, we jaywalking, but we here now.
We do. It's slow right now.
Okay.
Not the red hand.
It was definitely a red hand when we started, but we are headed to the car. Look at this view though, y'all. It's very, very nice uptown. We getting walking in Bernadine's. I'll never forget that place where I had that doggone $200 bill.
Let that go.
No, I'm not letting that go. You didn't have to pay for it.
Higher bills.
Good for you. Shoot. I paid higher bills before too. That don't mean I liked it.
Yeah, but it's a big experience.
Shoot, I don't know what I did with the keys. Let me holler at y'all in a second. What's good, y'all? About to close this video out. It's been a great 2 days. Hopefully you found some content that you can use in your life. I am about to go to bed so I can wake up super early and do it all again. And I will holler at y'all tomorrow. That didn't work. Pause. Peace out, y'all.
Please give a little 1-2 of what you've been reading, and we can exchange books. Shout out to my dog Curtis. Shout out to my dog Kurt York on Instagram. He's been doing his thing in the fashion 1-2 step, his YouTube. He's also a brother who gives good guidance with investments and properties. And he has a YouTube channel. I'm going to definitely try to put the link in the description for him. I appreciate you, my brother. My sponsors of the week